Of Morocco's 26 World Cup players, 20 were born outside Morocco, in France, in Belgium, in the Netherlands, in Spain. They grew up speaking French at school, Arabic or Berber at home, and wearing the jersey of a country most of them first visited as children. This isn't a football story, it's a parenting story. But to understand why these players chose Morocco, you have to understand how immigrant families raise their children. Because the choice doesn't happen on the pitch, it happens at the kitchen table. Imagine growing up in a French city, your school, your friends, your entire outside world, French. But the moment you walk through your front door, something shifts. The language changes, the food changes, the expectations change. Your parents carried a whole country with them, and now they're handing it to you. 2 languages, 2 identities, 1 childhood. The question every child of immigrants eventually faces is, who am I? And the answer these players gave, the answer that put them on the world stage, starts with how they were raised. In Moroccan immigrant homes, identity isn't something you figure out on your own. It's something you're given, from day one. Achraf Hakimi was born in Madrid. He speaks perfect Spanish. He came up through Real Madrid's academy. Spain wanted him. By every measure, Spain should have won that battle, but his parents made sure the kitchen table was Moroccan. The stories were Moroccan. The values were Moroccan. Respect for elders, loyalty to family, pride in where you come from. Hakimi once said he felt Moroccan before he felt Spanish, and that feeling wasn't accidental. It was built, meal by meal, story by story, every single day. This is what immigrant parents do differently from most. They don't just raise children, they raise cultural ambassadors. But here's the thing, and this is where it gets interesting. These players didn't grow up only Moroccan. They grew up Moroccan and French, Moroccan and Dutch, Moroccan and Belgian. 2 languages, 2 sets of norms, 2 ways of seeing the world, coexisting inside one child. And that dual identity creates something unique. It creates adaptability. Think about what it takes to navigate 2 cultures as a kid. At school, you learn 1 set of rules. At home, another. You learn to read a room, to understand who you're with and what version of yourself to bring forward. That's not confusion. That's a skill. A skill most monocultural kids never develop. European structure gave them the tools. Moroccan identity gave them the fire. And that combination, discipline plus belonging, is exactly what immigrant parenting produces. Now here's where the parenting pays off. At 16, 17, 18, when these players are good enough to represent a European country, they face a choice. And this choice isn't really about football, it's about identity. It's the final exam of everything their parents taught them. Spain called Hakimi. He said no. France called others. They said no. Belgium called. The Netherlands called. They said no. They chose Morocco, the country they visited in summers, the language their mothers whispered in, the flag their fathers watched through tears on television. And that choice, that moment, it's the single clearest expression of how immigrant parents measure success, not by how much their children achieve in the outside world, but by whether their children still know who they are when they get there. So when you watch Morocco play in this World Cup, you're not just watching a football team, you're watching 20 families who moved countries, learned new languages, worked jobs they never imagined, and raised children who carried 2 worlds inside them, and somehow made that feel like strength instead of conflict. That's not luck. That's not scouting. That's parenting. Every culture has its own way of raising winners. But the Moroccan diaspora may have found something the rest of us are still searching for: how to raise a child who can conquer the world without forgetting where they came from. If this resonated with you, subscribe. I'm exploring how cultures around the world raise their children, one comparison at a time. And this is just the beginning.